Hey Baddies, we want to take a quick minute to shout out our amazing sponsor, Eli Lilly, for supporting our mission here on Baddie to Baddie. Because of their generosity, we can keep these important conversations about breast cancer awareness, education, and advocacy going strong for our community of women of color. We send our sincere thanks to our partners at Eli Lilly for standing with us. Calling all permanent makeup artists. Discover how you can join our mission to empower breast cancer survivors of color with specialized permanent makeup services. It's more than makeup, it's a movement. Connect with us and find out how you can contribute to this empowering cause by visiting baddiebeautycollective.com. In return, you will receive free breast health education, permanent makeup trainings, and much more. The Baddie Beauty Collective is brought to you by For the Breast of Us, Artistry by Zuri, and PM Yukon. If you're a breast cancer survivor looking to boost your confidence and add a bit of swag to your new normal, this is your invitation to explore free and discounted permanent makeup services by artists trained in the specifics and nuances of skin for women of color. From eyebrows to 3D areola and scar transformation, join us and let your journey of empowerment begin. Check out the Baddie Beauty Collective, brought to you by For the Breast of Us, Artistry by Zuri, and PM Yukon by visiting baddiebeautycollective.com.
Welcome to Baddie to Baddie, a monthly podcast by For the Breast of Us, the first breast cancer community for all women of color, where we share real-life experiences, information, and education to help you live your best life after a breast cancer diagnosis. Welcome to Baddie to Baddie. Welcome to Baddie to Baddie.
Hey girl, hey, welcome to another episode of Baddie to Baddie, brought to you by For the Breast of Us, a community of women of color impacted by breast cancer. My name is Tesha, and I am a breast cancer survivor and a Baddie volunteer. And today I am joined by Survivor Raenel, and she is joining me today as we are discussing how Black and brown women navigate through different treatment options when it comes to breast cancer. So everyone, please give a warm welcome to my friend and my sister, Thriver and Survivor Raenel. Welcome, girl.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, girl. Hey. So before we get started, please tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Raenel. I'm originally from Maryland, but I've been living in Houston since 2015. That's almost 10 years. Ridiculous. But I go back and forth from here and Maryland, diagnosed with stage 2B triple negative breast cancer in 2022. Did the whole Keynote 522 study, chemo, radiation, immunotherapy, and lumpectomy. And just out here, just living, thriving, surviving. Like you said, like to travel. I'm a foodie, and I love 90s R&B.
Girl, you are a girl after my own heart, okay? Because I stay in the street. I love travel. I am a foodie as well, honey, and I'm old school. So yes, 90s, 80s, 70s music.
Yep.
That's my heart.
Yep.
So yes, honey, we're going to have to.
Yes.
I'm so glad you are on today.
Yes.
And I'm sure my listeners are happy that you are on as well. So let's dive into the conversation. So today, again, we are talking about navigating treatment options for women of color that have been impacted by breast cancer. And we know that can be an overwhelming feeling when it comes down to deciding what treatment options you want to have when you are trying to get treated for breast cancer. being diagnosed is overwhelming. The diagnosis is overwhelming in itself.
Yep.
And now you're having to think about these treatments, these different treatments that 9 times out of 10 you never knew anything about. And it is definitely overwhelming. So whether it's radiation, whether it's chemotherapy, um, surgery, and even clinical trials. It is, again, it's very overwhelming. So talk to us a little bit about how did you, when you were diagnosed, how did you go about your deciding what treatments that you were going to do to get better?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so when I first like got the diagnosis, I went into like Dr. Google mode and tried to research everything,
Mhm.
and it was overwhelming. And then you read conflicting opinions online. And then once I finally talked to, so I got diagnosed, and then like the week later is when I found out it was actually triple negative. So I didn't know at first like what really was going on. But the next week I went and met with like the multidisciplinary team, and they kind of laid out, okay, it's triple negative. We kind of only got one recommended course of treatment as far as doing the chemo, radiation, immunotherapy, and the surgery. And so when they were explaining to me, I'm like, okay, y'all are talking about all this stuff, and there's no guarantee any of this is going to work. Like,
Right.
why would I do this?
Right.
The side effects y'all are saying this just sounds terrible. So obviously I prayed on it. I'm a person of faith,
Okay.
Christian. So I prayed on things. I actually talked to a couple of friends who had went through everything, had some of the same treatments, especially that red devil, which is
Girl.
that scared me most.
Yeah.
So I kind of just, I did my own research. I asked a ton of questions because that's what I do. Ask questions, faith, ask other people. And then also before just the regular treatment, I decided, hold up, y'all are talking about doing all this stuff, and let's start like in a week. I'm single, not married. I don't have any kids. Can I freeze my eggs first?
I did that. I did
Yeah.
that. I'm so glad that I had that, that my doctor, I'm a 9-year survivor.
Awesome.
And thank you. And I'm so glad that my doctor recommended that before I started treatment, because, I'm finding out as I'm learning, when I was going through my treatment, that as I was going through my journey, that a lot of women didn't have that option. So I'm so thankful that I had the option, and I'm glad that you had the option, but you also you inquired about it. So you had knowledge of that beforehand. So that's important, and that's huge.
Yeah. So like I've talked to so many other people, like you said, who, went through everything, and they're like, I didn't even know that was an option. And like, that makes me scream. Like, cause I don't know if I'm ever going to use these eggs, but don't take the option away from me.
That option away from it. Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. And as I'm listening to you share, to me, you had an advantage because you knew people that had gone through the journey. So you knew what questions to ask. You knew they were able to give you their experiences, where a lot of women of color, especially young women of color, I was diagnosed at 36. I didn't know anyone that had gone through what I went through.
Yep.
So it was like, for me, I kind of felt isolated. I asked the questions that I could think of when I was, talking to my doctors, but I was so thankful that my mom was there to ask the questions that I couldn't think of. So it's important that for those that are listening, it is important that when you are talking with your doctors, or as I say, interviewing the right doctor for you, if you don't know the questions to ask, have someone there with you that can ask those questions.
Yeah.
Or research and write the questions down. You will have a notebook. I'm an educator by profession. So it comes easily for me. I have to write everything down. So, that was one thing that, that I did. And again, like I said, having my mom there to ask the questions that I didn't know to ask.
Right.
So, again, that's very important. Asking questions. And like I said, you had that advantage of being able, having people that had gone through it
Yeah.
to give you that, to give you their experiences. And so now that we are thriving, we can now share our experiences to those that are now newly diagnosed,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
give them our experiences, so that if they're experiencing something through their journey, we could be like, oh, yes, been there, done that. Let me tell you what I did that
Yeah.
helped me, or this is something that I can recommend for you that might help you. So
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like someone could tell you something. And a lot of times, like, I love doctors, they're amazing, all
mhm,
healthcare providers. But you're telling me, unless you've gone through some sort of cancer treatment, you can tell me what you've read about. You can tell me the statistics, but
mhm.
you don't necessarily know it from like a personal experience. And that makes a huge difference.
A very huge difference, because they're just speaking from the outside.
Right.
They're just speaking, but when you talk to someone that has actually gone through it, that makes a big difference.
Yep.
It makes a big difference. And also, not only discuss and having those conversations with those that have gone through it, and even talking with your the doctors, but getting a second opinion. I think that is also important, to make sure that the diagnosis is the diagnosis that they say that it is.
Yep.
Because with women of color, we face so many disparities in healthcare. So it is important that if you're not sure, if something just don't sit right, go get a second opinion. And
Yep.
there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yep. No, everyone should feel empowered to
Absolutely.
to say, to express themselves. And like I always say, like, be a partner in your
Yes.
treatment journey. Like, it's
Mhm.
not them telling you what to do. You can express like, hey, do I have to do this? Is there another option? Like, just be a partner.
Absolutely. Because this is your body that is getting ready to go through something traumatic.
Yep.
This is your life that is literally about to change. And so you want, as I always tell our listeners, you are your best and strongest advocate.
Yep. Yep.
Who knows your body better than you?
Exactly.
So absolutely. So definitely, create that partnership with your team of doctors, and you have the final say. So they can give you the recommendations, they can give you the statistics and the data to back it up, but at the end of the day, it is your decision, because it's you that is getting ready to experience a life-changing event.
Yep.
So I know with me, I developed a good relationship with my oncologist. I tell anybody, I love that man. I will follow my oncologist wherever he goes. I told him if he was to leave Maryland and move his practice to California, I'll fly every month to go every 6 months. However long I need to go see him, I will fly wherever he go. Because it was just, when I first met him, my mom and I first met him, he was just so, he answered every question, and he took the time.
Yep.
And I think that is important when you are when you are trying to figure out what your treatment options are, when you're talking to your healthcare team. That is very important. How they respond to you, how they respond to your questions.
Uh-huh.
Do they sit down and actually have a conversation with you, and making sure that you are comfortable, and or if they're just telling you what you need to know, so they can hurry and get you out,
Hmm.
and get to the next patient.
Yep.
So
I had an experience that wasn't the best at first, and I had to get a different oncologist. Like, hey, I'm not really, because from that first meeting, I was asking questions, and it was like, oh, I said, so like, what are the statistics on this? And it was just, oh, very much. I need numbers. I'm an analyst. Like, I'm a
okay,
numbers person. Like,
okay,
exact numbers. I
hmm
like, and if you're telling me this is based off of a study, you should have those numbers.
right.
And it just was like very general, and I felt rushed, and there were some other mishaps that happened along the way, and I was like, yeah, nah, I want to be at this hospital. I want to be at MD Anderson, but
Mhm.
this person, I don't want to work with them. So got somebody new that I love her to death.
And it's okay. It
Yeah.
is okay to what we say, fire.
Yep. I
Your
didn't want to say
money.
that. I was like, I fired my first oncologist.
Again, it is your body.
Yep.
You are getting ready to go through something traumatic. So you want to make sure that you got the best medical team possible. And you want to make sure that they are catering to your needs.
Right.
You want to make sure that they are making you feel comfortable. And if they're not, you have every right to fire them
Yeah.
and find somebody else until you find that right one that matches that matches your needs and that gives you what you need. So
Yeah.
hey,
Oh well.
oh well. Oh, sad to say, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that you had the mindset and the courage to say, hey, you know what, this oncologist is not working for me.
No.
Because a lot of women will just accept the the person that the medical doctor that they receive because they don't know that it's all right to do that.
Yeah. Literally, it was when I got the team, it was okay. So, how many of these types of cases have you dealt with? Like, is triple negative your specialty, or are y'all just here because I came in on a Thursday and y'all got assigned to me? Like, yeah. So, I totally agree. You definitely have to find the right fit for you, and if you don't feel that trust, then it's not going to work. And things with me and that doctor, it was before the treatment even started, and I was like, this is not going to work. We're not off to a good start.
Absolutely. And for me, I was so fortunate and blessed that when I met my oncologist, my mom was of course she was with me when she met my team of doctors, and I'm from South Carolina, so my immediate family is still in South Carolina. And when she flew up, after we met everyone, my mom immediately said, I'm at peace. Because especially with my oncologist, she absolutely loves him. She was like, I can go back home now knowing that you are in good hands.
Yeah.
And that is so important, not only for me, it was important for me, but it was important for her too, because she wasn't my mom was there for every chemo treatment. But the fact that we were so far away, that I'm in Maryland and she's in South Carolina, that she couldn't be with me every second of the day, but she was there for every chemo treatment. And it's now they've even developed a relationship. It's like whenever I go and whenever I have my 6-month appointments with my oncologist, the first thing that my oncologist says is, how's your mom? Wait a minute.
Right.
I'm the patient. I'm the patient. But and that's what I love. That's what I love about it, that he took the time out, and he calmed our fears down. And he made my anxiety level go down when we had our initial conversation. And just to hear him whenever I go, hear him always ask about my mom, that's huge for me. And mom, when I come back up, I'm gonna bring, because my mom loves to bake, I'm gonna bake him something. I'm like, what, y'all best friends now? Yeah. So, and it tickles me so, but I'm like, you know what, and I'm so thankful. But so I say all that to say it is very, very important that when you are discussing, or when you're navigating and trying to find the right medical team for you, the right healthcare team for you, it is important that you feel comfortable with them. It is very important that they make you feel comfortable, they make you feel safe.
Yep.
They don't add any more stress to you than what you already are, because you're trying to wrap your head around the fact that you got cancer.
Right.
And
Yep.
so, yeah, but I love it. And it is okay. Again, I can't stress it enough. It is okay to, if they are not a good fit for you, it's okay to find somebody else, and find someone else that is.
Yep.
So,
Totally agree.
and I like how when you talk to when you were um quote unquote interviewing your doctors, that you talked about, well, what is the, and talking about the treatment options. Well, what is the success rate of this particular treatment plan? And what is the recovery timelines for this particular one? So, making sure that you're getting all of that information is important when you are making decisions on what treatment plan that you are going to do. So,
Yep.
yeah. So what are some tips that you would share with someone that's newly diagnosed, about, again, finding that, going that's navigating through their treatment plan, and trying to find the right treatment plan, trying to find the right um team of doctors.
Just starting off out, take your time, ask questions. Like, even if when you have your first initial appointment, you
Mm-hmm.
might have those questions then. And of course, afterwards, you're going to have more questions.
More
Follow
questions.
up,
Mm-hmm.
bug them. I promise they're like, Raenel thinks my chart is a text message app. Like, because if I have a question, I'm going to send it. I don't
Yeah,
care. I'm going to send them,
absolutely.
hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just want to ask about this, like any symptom I had
Uh-huh.
during treatment. Like, is this normal?
Yeah.
Um, I just speak up. Don't ever feel like you're bothering anybody. I would say that's probably a big thing. And take it day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, just be a partner. That's really the biggest thing from all
Absolutely.
aspects. Like, treat your care team like they're your family member, because I mean, essentially they have part of control of your life.
Yes, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And I love how you said that, if anything, if you see anything out of the norm, or if you have questions, that you are on the phone, you texting.
Yeah.
And I think a good medical doctor, a good doctor would be one that will tell you, if you have questions after the fact, because like you said, you'll have some questions when you have your appointment, but afterwards it just seems like a ton of questions. You just come up with all of these questions, and you want your healthcare team to be readily accessible, not just during normal business hours,
Right.
because you think about things after, you think about things at night, and I know with my doctor, he always, he gave me his number. He was like, if you have any questions anytime, just give me a call. And I'm one too that, and I don't like to feel like I'm bothering anyone. Um, but please, be a bother.
Yep.
Be a bother. Because like you said, and I never thought about it that way when you said that, they actually have, treat them like they're your family,
Yeah.
because they essentially they do have control at that, as you're going through your journey. They have control over, your your diagnosis. They have control over, how you are going to get well.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely. There was one other thing I was gonna say.
mhm.
I can't remember. It was just don't. And the another thing is, like, with the apps, like,
Mhm.
don't feel like you have to wait till your next appointment to ask a question. Like, just ask it when you feel like it, because it might take them a day to respond.
Right,
But
right.
don't feel like you have to wait until your next visit to to ask something if something comes up. And then, of course, when you're first getting your treatment, a recorder is good. A second person being there is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are probably the big things.
And not only that, but as you are navigating through, trying to figure out what's the best treatment plan for you, some women may choose a totally different treatment plan other than a medical treatment plan. They may go the holistic route. And so, when you are trying to when you're trying to make those decisions and consider what's the best option for you, there's a lot of things that you need to consider, what's your lifestyle, your personality, all of that plays a big part in, if you're not big on science and medicine, then a holistic approach may be the best option for you. And there is so many resources in holistic doctors that and healthcare professionals that are out there that can help navigate you and get you the best treatment plan to get you through this breast cancer journey. I know for me, a medical treatment was the best option for me. I did surgery. I had radiation. I started out with, when I got diagnosed, I had my eggs frozen. That was the first thing I did before I started chemo. Followed by a lumpectomy. I had a lumpectomy, and then and then radiation. So, and I remember doing the red devil. Woo, woo, yes. So, it was terrifying, for me, to say the least. But just knowing your personality, knowing how your lifestyle and what you do, that plays a big part in what type of treatment option that you will choose.
Yeah, there's definitely no one size fits all.
There's no one size, because everyone is different, and every diagnosis is different. Every person is different. So, you got to choose the right treatment plan that is best for you.
Yep. Totally agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is one thing that, again, that we tell listeners, that, and those that are, especially for women of color, think about, how you want your treatment to look like. How do you want it to be? And and think about your space. Think about your lifestyle. Think about your personal preference.
Yep. No, I agree. And then it makes me also think, when you're talking about lifestyle and things like that, because cold capping is like a big thing, and that was with the eggs and the hair. That's like two things that I was like, hold on a second. Can we talk about the eggs? And then, like, I saw this on the internet about cold capping, and I remember being told, oh, that's definitely not going to work for you. It's definitely not going to work with your hair, and because of the red devil. And so I was like, okay. Oh, and it costs a lot of money, and it's a lot of extra time. And it was just all this, like, sometimes you get people that are just want to just treat the tumor and don't forget about the rest of you.
Exactly.
As a person. And so I count that as part of a treatment option.
Oh, absolutely.
To me, it's like a mental health thing.
It is a mental health on your emotion, and that is also part of your treatment plan too. Finding someone to take care of the mental health piece.
Yep.
That is huge. Cancer not only affects our bodies physically, but it affects our mental.
Yep.
So definitely finding someone that you can talk to, that you can vent to, that will help to definitely take care of the mental health part of your journey, as well as that physical part of their journey.
Yep. Totally agree.
Yeah, because I know for me that the most devastating thing that I was when I lost my hair. Whew, that was big for that was the most devastating thing that I can say that I endured during my journey, because we as women of color,
Mm-hmm.
our hair, that's our crown.
Yep.
That is our crown and glory. And when you see it, whew, when you see it, just falling out, it's it can be devastating, and it can definitely do something to your it can definitely do something to your self-esteem.
Yep.
um it could definitely do something to, and especially when you are, after you've gone through your treatments, whether or not you've had surgery, or whether you've had a lumpectomy or a mastectomy, your body has changed.
Yep. Completely different.
You are complete, and now is like a new normal. So that had that takes some getting used to. So yeah. So talk to our listeners a little bit about, as you were, navigating through your treatment plans. Did you, seek out, now since we're on a topic of talking about mental health for a little bit, did you seek out any support for that, or did you seek out any support, um period, throughout your journey, whether it's mental health, cancer support?
Yeah, so I mean, I already had a therapist for like a while,
Mhm.
so that was an easy, like I didn't have to find
Right.
somebody new and
Right.
build a relationship. That would have been a lot to deal with.
Hmm.
So I already had somebody that knew me, and thankfully, was very supportive and helped me get through that part of life, like just active treatment and even post active. I mean, I'm not the same person mentally anymore.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
your whole life changes. Um, Also, I joined like some Facebook groups,
Right.
social media,
Mhm.
and I would say for people, like when you join certain groups, just you're not gonna vibe with everybody. Everybody's not gonna be sunshine and rainbows. So just take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just you have to find your people.
Yeah. I'm a work in progress with that. Because I just have the personality, like, everybody likes me. Why doesn't everybody not like me? And in my mind, it's all sunshine and rainbows, and we're running through the meadows, picking flowers and all this. And wait a minute, what you mean somebody? And I have to, and I am learning
Hmm.
that I am not for everybody,
Yeah.
and I'm okay, and I'm okay with that, because I
Yep.
don't want to be for, I don't want to be for everybody. And it's all right, and again, choosing your support system, making sure that you have the right people that's supporting you. That is definitely important, because you want to make sure you don't have to go through this by yourself.
Right. That's the thing. You don't have to like go through it, how share how much you want to with whoever you want to,
Yeah.
but I mean, you have to have some, at least one person that you can like count on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Because there's just so many organizations, so many communities out here now that are now evolving, like for the rest of us,
mhm.
um, like Tiger, organizations like Tiger Lily, Sisters Inc. Incorporate, Sisters Network, here in the DMV area where I am, Pink for the City, Two for Two Boobs, just so many communities that are that are focused, their target audience is women of color. I'm so fortunate that I have a platform, and a podcast as well, called Tisha's Tea Room, the place where conversations conquer cancer. So I created a space where I talk with thrivers and survivors about how going through their breast cancer journey. So and that is also another resource that those that are going through their breast cancer journey, that you can use to to build community, to and have a sense of belonging.
Yep.
Because again, you don't have to go through this by yourself. We can't stress this enough. Do not go through this by yourself.
Yeah.
At least, like you said, like Raenel said, have at least one person.
Yeah.
at least one person that you can go to, because there are going to be times when you are just not going to want to do anything. You're not going to have the strength to get up. You may not have the strength to eat anything, but you will have somebody that will be that cheerleader for you.
Mhm.
That will be like, okay, come on, Tesha, you got this, or just when you need to just vent or cry, or I thank God for my best friends, my circle of friends, because there are moments where I would call in and I'm like, you know what, I just need a normal conversation.
Yep. Not about cancer. Like, don't ask me.
Don't you know what? Our conversation is going to be about if we're going to talk as if I don't have cancer. How about that? We're going to do that.
Exactly.
Let's talk. Give me the juice. What's going on? Give me the gossip. I need something to make me laugh. I need just talk normal to me. And there are also times where I would call and say, I don't need you to say anything. Let me scream. Let me cry. Let me vent.
Yep.
And when I'm done, they'd be like, you all right? You good? And I hang up.
Yep.
So you need that, just if it's just one person.
Yep.
Get that one person. Just get that one person. And that is a part. And you know what? And choosing your support community too is also, in my opinion, is also a part of your treatment plan.
It is.
It is most definitely part of your treatment plan. So you need to make sure that you are not only carefully considering your medical team, but also carefully considering who do you want to be behind you, to be your strength, to be that rock for you when you need it.
Yep.
So again, yeah, absolutely. And for those that are, again, if you choose, however your lifestyle is, if you choose to do a holistic approach, making sure that you're discussing those options with a medical doctor, and make sure that that it is okay, it's all right for you to go that route. And if it is, by all means, if that is the route that you choose to do, if it fits your lifestyle and your personality, by all means, do it. Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about, when you were going through your treatments, and I'm sure that you had moments that you went through, and how did you cope? What were some coping mechanisms that you did to help you get through those moments where you were like, or you were mad, you were angry? I know I went through the why me. I was mad. I know there were some things that I did, and I'll share. But I want you to tell our listeners about what are some things that you did to cope.
I was like, I feel like it just depended on the day and the day and what might have been happening at that moment. And sometimes maybe it wasn't even anything that happened. It would just be just a moment in time. But probably, like I said before, I'm a person of faith. I'm a Christian. Praying definitely helped, getting my prayer people around me.
Yes.
Music is also a huge part of my life.
Girl, I put on so many concerts.
Yes. I am like, I have like dance parties in my house by myself. I'm like, I wonder, like, there's a fly on the wall. I wonder what they would say. But music, get outside, and even it was just walk around. Or, I kind of kept myself in a bubble a little bit because it was still COVID. And I know some of my friends were still like going out and about and stuff. So that was another piece where I had to kind of pick and choose who, like, hey, can we go like eat outside somewhere? Just so I could be around people. But yeah, prayer, music, exercise, TV shows. I like binge watch all of Grey's Anatomy, like all the seasons. That was ridiculous.
But it got you through.
Right. Yeah. And like just talking to those people that you can trust that either have been through it, or I met people who were going through it at the same time as me. So that was kind of helpful. And then also journaling. I wrote stuff down, and I like did like video recordings, and sometimes I watch those, and sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, girl, you was going through it."
but look at you now.
Yeah.
Look at you now, honey. Yeah. So a lot of the things that you did, I actually did as well. I I rediscovered my love for I like old sitcoms.
Mhm.
So during my treatment, I rediscovered my love for the show In the Heat of the Night.
Oh God, I used to watch that with my mom.
That, and I still watch it to this day. I still watch it to this day, and I have every episode. My best friends went out; they gave me the DVD collection, and I still watch it as if I have never seen them. I mean, it's to the point where my coworkers, even my principal at school, she was like, if I'm having a bad day, everybody will say, "Go home and watch In the Heat of the Night." They know, they know.
Love it.
So for me, it was the sitcoms, it was music, anything that made me laugh
Yep.
because I love a good, I love a good laugh. Journaling, and I'm also a person of faith, so I prayed. There were certain scriptures that I had placed around my house that I would, meditate on and pray, and so having that spiritual faith and background that helped me get through a lot of tough moments,
Mhm.
especially when I went through the why stage. And as why is it that I'm going through this? I'm going through cancer, and my friends, and I'm seeing friends um, getting married. I'm seeing friends starting families, having careers. Although I was in the prime of my career and still am. But it was like, why am I having to go through this? And
Mhm.
I had to learn. Well, my mom said I had to learn that. My mother told me that, Tisha, you were the one. God knew that in our family, you would be the one to handle it the way that you did.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
and then, once I pondered on that and thought about it, okay, I was like, okay, Lord. And now that I'm 9 years in, I feel like God, if I beat cancer,
Right.
I feel like I'm Superwoman.
Right.
So, you know,
That's funny. I say the same thing. I'm like, oh, you can't tell me nothing.
you
Like,
can't tell, exact girl. You can't tell me nothing. I beat cancer.
right.
What you did? What you do?
Right.
What you do? So, it does give you it kind of, it does give you that sense of confidence that, and it gives you a sense of resilience because it makes you become resilient
Yep.
because it's at that moment when when you're diagnosed, and having that mindset too is also half of your battle, whether or not you're going to live or whether or not you're going to let this thing
Mhm.
beat you.
Yep.
And I was determined. I was not letting this thing beat me.
Exactly.
And so that played a huge part because I got to travel. I got places to go. I got food to try.
Yep.
I got people to see. Mm-mm. I can't let this stop me. And so for those that are out there listening to, again, having that mindset, not only as you are trying to determine what your treatment plan is going to be, but also having that mindset that, whatever treatment option that you decide, that this is going to be the treatment that is going to heal me. This is going to be the treatment that is going to beat this cancer. And although it may be, it's something that when you're going through it, it is unknown, and the anxiety comes in because you don't know what to expect, and you don't know how it is going to affect your body. But you have to, have the mindset that it is working. It is going to work out for your good. It is going to get you better,
Yep.
and you are going to beat this. So again, making sure that, as you are making these also important decisions on what treatment that you are going to take in order to save your life, um, it is important to take all of these things that we talked about today into consideration, and just making sure that, you have those conversations with your doctors, and making sure that, that you are comfortable with your your doctors, and not only that, but making sure that you're comfortable with the treatment plan that you choose,
Yep.
and know that there is more than one option out there. There's not just one option for one, because everyone is different. So know that there are options out there for you to explore, but making sure that you take the time to research and making sure that you take the time to um, have those conversations with the healthcare team. And if it's not to your liking, find another healthcare team.
Yep.
So I just want to say right now, this has been a awesome conversation. I just want to thank you so much for joining us today. Tell everyone that's listening, how can the audience connect with you?
So you can follow me on Facebook, Raenel Smedley. Also on Instagram, Ray, that's Raeelisse, Elise, that's my middle name, Ray Elise. Okay. Or I also recently made a page that I'm going to start posting more about my cancer journey. And it's a little play on words called Rain and Rainbows, with the I and Rain and Rainbows as a E. So Rain and Rainbows, Ray Elise, or Raenel Smedley on Facebook.
Love it. And I want to take a quick minute before we end this wonderful podcast today and give a quick shout out to our amazing sponsor, Eli Lilly, for supporting our mission on Baddie to Baddie. And because of their generosity, we can continue these important conversations about breast cancer awareness and advocacy for women of color that has been impacted by breast cancer. And for those that are out there watching and listening too, please also take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media, Tesha's Tea Room. So again, my YouTube channel, Tesha's Tea Room, and I am also Tesha's Tea Room on Facebook and Instagram. And so please like and subscribe. And I also want to thank you listeners for tuning in. And please make sure that you like and share. Subscribe to not only Tesha's Tea Room, but also subscribe to Baddie to Baddie on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And with that being said, Raenel, thank you so very much. And you coming to the tea room.
Okay.
So thank you so very much for this wonderful conversation, and I hope everyone that is listening, I hope that you have gained a lot of information about how you can navigate your treatment plans when you are entering your breast cancer journey. So we wish you the best of luck. Know that we are here as a resource for you, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And with that being said, have a wonderful evening. Take care.
This is another Baddie creation brought to you by For the Rest of Us. Don't forget to subscribe to Baddie wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram at For the Breast of Us, on Twitter at The Breast of Us, and check us out online at breastofus.com. Thanks for listening.